Welcome, Sassins, to this week's episode of Sassins and Dragons. I am Magnus Beasticus, your dungeon master for the evening. Joining me on my left, your right.
Luna, playing Thunky Beerbot, a level 7 mountain dwarf druid.
My name is Enzer, and I'm playing Tim, or Timarius, a level 7 dwarf, Duergar dwarf, wild mage.
Maximus Dominus. I play a Goliath Barbarian, Hercheck, Bane, level unknown.
I know, 7. Lowering by the second.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening. My name is Rummy the Everliving.
It's always a problem.
And I play Valkyr, Invictarii, a level 7 Cleric of the Death Domain. I can't get my dice out. And
If only there were a way to get
and
them
I'm a
out.
very precarious person. You ruined it for me. But yes, I'm an Aasimar of the Death Domain. Continuing.
All right. When last we left I'm no longer confident in calling them heroes. They had made it back. Adventurers. When last we left our adventurers. Trusted with the grand task of finding Nosha, the herb that is likely to be able to cure King Triandal's curse.
He's probably dead by now.
We're still on that.
There's only a few different ways to find out. They had made it to the city of Bresh, had found a guide who would be able to take them to Ild Fjell, the land of the giants, in which this Nosha is apparently located. They had made it back to the city, where they were going to take an airship piloted by Quenxil, a veteran of the Godless Wars. They decided that they wanted to have one last excursion throughout Bresh to supply themselves and re-up on any equipment that they might have needed. Both Hercheck and Valkyr took off on their own to find a gauntlet that Dust, the leader of the Castaway Winds, had apparently been blown off of his arm. Succeeded in that, and then went to go check up on Nebrexis, Valkyr's undead steed. Upon arrival to the stables at which Brexis was being harbored, they found out that almost every single living thing in the stable had been turned into some form of undead version of their past selves. Many horses and the teenage boy who had been responsible for this.
Not my fault, I swear. It was their fate.
Valkyr is still learning how wards work, really. They managed to save 3 of the horses from their undead fate, and managed to make it back into Quenxil's den, where the ship is being worked on. Both Thunky and Tim went on their own excursion to find potions, in which they decided to go back to the potion shop, Lovely Liquids, where they had both stolen a few potions and pooped on the desk where they had knocked out the current also teenage worker who had seemed to develop
He's
a
a
crush
teenager?
on Thunky. Yeah, he was a young. He's older than the stable boy. Yes, he's maybe in his late teens, but
Is
definitely.
he at least 18?
You haven't asked him. Well, there's no way to
no.
tell.
I'm sure he'll
for a
tell
time.
you who he is.
In these days, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
12 is the legal marrying age.
By
All
the
right.
church.
No, we're good then.
Good job.
Thunky managed to convince this boy that she would run away with him, with the thought of stealing all of the potions he had and leaving him in the dust. However, fate had something different in store, and now Thunky has the teenage boy, in her canvas sack as a mouse who had been polymorphed. and they have many different aphrodisiacs and potions that has been added to their inventory.
Some superior potions.
And 2 superior potions.
Some superior
you
aphrodisiacs.
could sell those.
We now pick up with them in Quenxil's den, located beneath the city of Bresh in its sewer systems. With Quenxil working away throughout the night. You all had decided to rest for the night. I believe you said that you were staying up to
Long
keep
rest.
vigilant to see if there had been any disturbance in the city of a more zombie-like origin.
So I want to keep an eye out for a little bit, but if I don't hear anything within like the first hour, I'm just gonna pass out and just make sure I'm someplace high.
Okay. So, you guys have all retired for the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dunky, you are stirred awake by none other than Vool. And I'll say that where have you guys slept?
I'm like near Kuhnbara, on like the ground.
Just in various portions around the ship?
Yeah.
So Vool wakes you up and you wake to his pink goblin form and he goes, I've a mind to think that you guys have a poor reputation and that it likes to follow you wherever you go. Shh. And he says, listen. And you hear footsteps. Armored footsteps is what it seems like coming down the main large portion of the tunnel, as well as the smaller gated portion of the tunnel leading into Quenxil's den. And he says, you hear a knocking on the gate, and this bassy voice yells out, Quenxil! You are suspected of harboring terrorists to the city of Bresh, responsible for the grand crimes of murder and tampering with life. You have 30 seconds to release these terrorists, or we shall come in and find them for ourselves.
Give him the mouse.
You hear Quenxil at the top go, all right, boys. It seems that the jig is up. Neither death eternal or eternal persecution will keep me from the skies.
What are you talking about?
Choose now. Do you want to settle your debts to the... And you guys have all sort of risen awake at Quenxil's yelling. And he says, settle your score with the city of Bresh, or come fly with me. I'll need someone to help me get the ship ready. And,
Get the ship ready!
All right,
Let's
let's go.
We need to get out of here.
You see...
Fuck the city.
Just give him the staple boy, whatever the boy you have in your pocket's name is.
Oh,
He's
can
a
I do that?
terrorist.
He's actually sleeping next to you,
Oh.
fully formed, and your canvas has
Oh,
also been
man.
ruined. Because, as you probably should be more than aware right now, polymorph only lasts for an
No,
hour.
I remembered that.
Okay.
Ruined bags.
And he looks like one of his arms is kind of like wrecked from, you would imagine, just the amount of like growing back into his shape from this canvas bag, and the force of the bag pushing against his body.
Weak little boy.
I know.
And
We'll
Quenxil
talk
says,
when I'm out. Yeah.
I need 3 of you to help me. Somebody else help the muted swordsman. And she jumps over the ledge of the ship and casts this barrier in front of the gate, this stained glass barrier. And she throws her hand towards the larger end of the tunnel, and another stained glass barrier appears as they just shift into place. And the stained glass in the larger portion of the tunnel is depicting a ship taking off in this sort of kaleidoscopic sky. And the guard goes, I see you've chosen. All right, Cleopatra, time to earn your pay. And you hear this other deeper but more feminine voice come out from behind him, and she goes, "All right, then step back," and you hear, and the barrier starts to crack a little bit, and the muted swordsman is right in front of the smaller barrier, which is cracking, and she's got her sword at the ready, and Quenxil goes, "Who's helping me?"
I'm jumping down with the muted
too.
swordsman.
So you two are fighting?
Yeah.
Wait,
Quenxil
Oh.
needs 3 of us.
I thought Quenxil jumped down there as well.
No, just
No,
need us.
Quenxil's like feverishly running towards different parts of the ship and like tying different ropes, activating.
Nope,
certain
I'm jumping
rooms.
down with the muted swordsman.
Okay, so you two are jumping down with the muted swordsman, and
I
who's-
guess I'll help Quenxil.
That leaves 2 people to help.
and he looks at you two and he goes, "I need the helium barrels activated. I need the wind glyphs or I need the helium barrels surging their helium into the newly formed blimp, and I need somebody to activate the wind runes as well as the ropes untied, letting us leave this place for good."
Look at the stable boy. I'm like, well, get to it.
There's no stable boy here.
Whatever, the potion boy who has a wrecked arm. I looked at him
Yeah,
like, get
the
to
little
it.
rat boy.
Come on.
He's like just frantically.
No. I'm gonna grab his face and I'm gonna slap him. I'm gonna be like, "Go untie the rope now!"
Okay. And he just like scurries around and starts like undoing them from sort of like iron bars located different portions in here, and he's running around different areas.
Cool.
Who's
doing-
activating the helium tanks?
I'll do helium.
And you can say like the left side is filled with the left and right side of the ship are filled with helium tanks, where tubes are just leading into the blimp portion. And you're activating the wind rooms, I imagine.
I want to activate them with a sickly wind. If I can do that.
A sickly wind?
Like a blighted wind.
No, this is more so
Aw.
just there are runes right in front of propellers, like giant propellers on the left and right side of the ship, that you would have to like walk out to and literally just put your hand on.
Can I pump some necrotic energy into him?
You can try, but with your knowledge of this universe, you know that it's
I'll-
not going to work.
I'll try it anyways.
Okay.
I would like to.
18.
And you rolled 4.
See if I can put some necrotic energy into the runes.
Okay. We'll say that with the knowledge that you have, crossing your hand across the first wind rune, it goes boom, and it flashes up green, and you start to see or feel more so, wind slowly pour out of this rune. And looking at it, you analyze it a little bit, and using your knowledge, you just, more for effect than anything else, make it this sort of green, sickly fog now billowing out of the first rune.
The death ship awaits. Come.
Okay, the barrier now cracks once more, and I want everybody to roll initiative.
Okay. I would like to also cast the cantrip message.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Started off the
19.
wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Ew.
Yeah, 19.
Wow.
Wow.
3 19s and a 20. Yeah, I'd like to also cast the cantrip message, and to this, like, I don't know, woman with the deep voice. And essentially I'm trying to, like, lick my lips, and she in her brain hears this, like it's right there. Like I'm licking my nasty teeth and my lips, and it's just right there. And then I'm just like, and then I'm gonna lick my mouth. Sorry, lick my finger, and then go like this, and then make the, like I'm giving her, what's it called, a wet willy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll either an intimidation or performance check, whichever one you want to do.
Can she respond to that message?
Yeah, can she respond? This is actually really important.
I mean, I don't know what she's capable of, but this is an intimidation check, and I'm trying to get into her mind, get her mind wet.
Get her mind wet.
Gross.
17.
Okay.
She can respond like verbally or physically?
No, I know
don't-
she can respond verbally, but I'm wondering if she can reach you telepathically.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what she's capable of.
This is purely with regards to message.
No, it's a one-way thing.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. So, 25 to 20. Sorry, yeah, 20 to 25. What'd you get?
22.
Jesus. What'd you get?
I got 19.
Do you have no dexterity? What'd you get, Enzer?
19.
Oh, wow. So, what is your dexterity?
0.
And yours?
0.
Okay, both of you roll again. You'll still keep your high place in the order, it's just who goes first.
17.
I rolled an 8.
So I'm going to multi-class into Bard. Be stupid. Be stupid. I'm going into a rage now.
I'm so furious.
Furious.
But do it like the.
Yeah. Not without 5 years of tap dance, you're not furious.
Wow.
He's got a point.
So first things first, you hear the bassy female go, "There is something evil beyond these barriers. It whispers into my ear and begs for its death." And with that, you see the shattering of this stained glass just spill forth and explode out towards you all. Those three of you in front of this initial barrier, all of the pieces and shards of this barrier just slap against your skin as it explodes outwards and dissipates, and sliding in front of you with a giant lance, one that you would see on for jousting, and this shield in her right hand is the black with the golden striped zebra female. And she comes to a halt right in front of you all, and you can see a guard regiment behind her.
The
With
whole regiment?
just like a branch of it. So there's you can see 6 people behind her.
It's like we're fine.
One of them, you imagine, one of them is more adorned than the others. He's likely the one who was shouting the threats. And you can just, to the left of you, hear the pounding and the slight cracking of the barrier that's guarding the rest of the larger portion of the tunnel. And Hercheck, you are up. As about 5 feet in front of you, there is Cleopatra, the zebra warrior, who is about a foot taller than you.
Who is taller than me?
I thought you were about a medium, even if not a smaller Goliath.
I am a smaller Goliath.
Yeah.
Well, good. Right in front of me, I'm going to just stare her right in the face and just bring out my axe and just go, "Wrong cavern." And I bite my lip as hard as I can to make it bleed, and I go into a rage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do...
Sexy lip bite?
I'm not...
No, it's like blood.
I don't want to kill her, but I definitely want to make it known that I want to overpower her. So I'm going to do 2 reckless attacks at her.
Okay, go for it.
Thank God that was reckless. And it was okay, so a 3 for the first one. No,
A 3?
no, a 9.
Nope, not even close.
Second one... Oh, it's going to be a fuck ton. Natural 19.
Yeah, it hits.
Coolio, and then make your dexterity saving throw, please. Beat. Oh, an 11. Goodness.
So she fails that dexterity saving throw.
17 bludgeoning damage and 3 points lightning damage. So a total of 20 damage.
She catches your first blow, and it just glances and slides along her lance. And then your second blow, as you leap back and then jump and leap towards her again, you bat her shield away and just catch her down her left shoulder. And she seems pretty much unaffected by what you did as your axe leaves her. And as you expect, she was not expecting, and she is electrified with the lightning from your axe. Next up is Thunky.
So am I still doing the helium sacks, or did I already finish doing that?
No, you did not finish doing that. We'll say that you got one of the barrels, and 3 need to be activated.
I would like to run over to the second one and activate that one.
Okay, you can actually, if you use your bonus action, you can use 2. They're all pretty much located in the same area.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the traditional sort of faucet knob.
Okay, so then I will activate one of them and then do the other one as my bonus action.
Okay. And you can see that it's already starting to fill up and expand into the almost filling up this large tunnel. And after that, Cleopatra is going to retaliate at you, Hercheck, and she is going to jump back. You get an attack of opportunity if you want. Just holds her shield up as she's expecting it, jumps back with her giant lance, and actually her large shoulders bump into 2 of the soldiers behind her, spilling out of the entrance, and she doesn't even pay attention to it, and she jumps towards you, like leaps. Does a 21 hit your armor class?
No. It's me screaming. Oh. I can feel no pain.
Okay,
That's
so
a lot of dice you're rolling.
So you take 17 points of piercing damage as it is.
Is that reduced?
You are raging. Yes, reduced to 8. As she lunges forward and catches you just in the side of the oblique. Yeah, as it pierces almost all the way through, and it's on the side of you. So it's like you can feel it almost split some of your ribs apart and protrude through as she is right up into your face right now, and she's smiling, just laughing, and she says, "Oh, you're going to be fun." And then
her face.
she uses her shield, and she's going to bash you down the length of her spear. Does a 17 hit your armor class? Okay. Oh, sorry. And you also take 13 points of frost damage.
Wow.
As her lance just freezes up, and you feel ice cool on the left side of your obliques, and she bashes you for for 6 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 3, as you slide 10 feet down the length of her spear. Again.
She did a shit ton of damage one round.
It's a bonus. Yes, okay, so next up is Tim. Sorry, Varkir, you're up.
So I got one of those runes going, I guess. Can I get the rest of them going, or as many as I can?
You can use the rest of your turn to go across the length onto the other, like miniature wing extension where this rune is located, on the opposite side of the giant propeller.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll activate it.
Okay. Running across, understanding how to give it your sickly wind once more.
It's more
you
for
activate
effect
the
than
rune.
illusion.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. As now there have been 4 guards who have pulled in and are now encircling you, Tim, and the muted swordsman, and they're looking up at the ship, and they go, It's a ship from the damned! We've truly encountered villains this day! I don't know if we'll survive!
You won't.
Pussy! I'm going for that guard.
Okay, you are up next.
Whoever's
Tim.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's time.
Is there anybody behind Cleopatra?
Yes. There are 2 more guards. One of them is the captain, and the other is just another underling trying to get through.
Okay. Correct me if I'm not doing this properly. I would have liked to have done this ahead of time. So basically, I wanted to use this move,
Magnus.
essentially, tidal wave,
I did. I thought I did. Yep, I'm listening.
at the start while before they had all moved out. In the future, do I say I want to prepare an attack? Tidal wave.
You can't because your initiative was too low. With the attack that you would have prepared, you sent a
Well,
message.
literally before you were like roll initiative.
You said you sent a message. So that is what you used your
That's
time
what.
to do.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Okay. Then
you-
I'm sorry. I've never used tidal wave before. Can I basically use it to swipe rather than shoot out in front of me?
Read the description really quick.
You conjure a wave that crashes down on an area within range. The range is 120 feet. The area can be up to 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet tall.
Doesn't sound like it restricts where.
Yeah,
which
cool.
direction
So
it
then I'm
goes.
gonna make it 30 feet wide, starting from right to left, and I'm gonna left swipe them all. But coming back to the moment, I'm gonna yell, "Nobody calls me a Cleric! I'm Terror Tim!" And then I throw down my staff, not to hit the ground, but just out in front of me. And then you go, and and then that's what starts the
Brown
the
murky
tidal wave.
water, tidal waves.
Yeah,
Ugh,
murky water.
gross.
As the saliva is just dispelling from your mouth in making contact with the staff, you still feel a grip in your hands, but it melts away with your saliva and shoots forward and actually acts as the tidal wave itself. And now, do they need to make a strength save, a dexterity save?
It's a dex save.
As you are just pushing the force of this water along the wall in almost like a garden hose, just. It's a dex save, you said?
Yeah. Is it against my dexterity?
What's the save number?
Yeah. What's your?
Should say in the.
Yeah, I should say right next to the spell.
No, because it's one that it's a spell that you've added to the teardrop staff. So I don't get that.
Oh, that can tidal wave up. I guess real quick.
Just use your own.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the water, the huge torrent of water pressing against the side of the tunnel and pushing these guardsmen and Cleopatra back. Cleopatra is she has such thick, massive legs and a huge form that she just stands firm and is barely pushed back at all. She's prepared for it. As well as the guard captain is still behind her. But 4 of the other guard, I'm really just basing this off of average of rolls. What is your...
So do I just give you my dexterity?
You know your spell save.
Oh.
Just look at one of your spells
Oh yeah, it should be the same.
that requires a spell save. In the future, it will just help greatly
Sorry.
if you remember your
13.
DC. 3 of the guards, out of the 6 total guards, are just pushed. And how far did they get pushed?
They take bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone if they don't succeed.
Oh, okay. Then it just throws one guard to your right and 2 guards to your left down to the ground as this force of water is pushed over them, and it collects at the end of the hall or at the end of the passage and just sort of spills against the rest of the barrier as that barrier now shatters, and you can see another 6 guards running up to meet you all.
I want to yell, "We are the dead hands of the dead hands!" Great. What was it? Gray hands or dead hands?
That goes the dead hand.
The dead hands. Yes.
I'm not with you.
Well, I was whispering to whoever was near
21.
me.
21 points of damage. You can see that 2 of the guards don't get up as they're just like, one is on the ground rolling and choking. You can see water just like, and the other guard has just been pushed up against the wall, body prone, leaving one guard just on the ground, slowly getting up, and the captain looking at you through this pure onyx stone helm. Imagine like a Spartan helm, only made out of pure onyx. And he looks at you, very obviously a fire genasi, and he goes, "You're gonna pay for what you did to my men." I think that was actually dust, but whatever. And you do still have a bonus action in your movement.
I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
I think my bonus action was that fierce battle cry.
Should the tidal wave be like, like a wave instead of a fireball?
I'm picturing like some
Wave.
really too thick to
Get
be
some
called
signals
water.
going.
water.
Be like, Tim!
Yeah. Maybe.
You see the muted swordsman unsheath her golden stained glass sword, and she points it at Cleopatra, and this purple energy almost shoots from her sword and is encases Cleopatra, and it's just like sort of wreathing around her, and she rushes her and hits her once and then twice, and then Cleopatra blocks the third one and pushes her back, and the muted swordsman, with the force of being pushed back, just turns around and jumps back onto the ship, and she signals to you guys like yeah,
Fireball.
Like, let's go.
almost. And you can see Cleopatra was she held her ground, but was definitely outmatched by the muted swordsman, with the last block being almost in desperation than anything. And with that, the 6 guards coming from the larger now opened barrier shattered. I mean, you are in the sewers. They start rushing forward, and the other 2 guards that were left inside of the smaller portion of the sewers are now rushing out, and you have a total of 11 attackers surrounding you currently. And Vul goes, "All right, lads, I think it's time we made our escape."
So as we're leaving, can I cast what do you call it? Guardian of Faith on the spot where they're like right before they get like to the entrance to the ship, for him to just guard, hit anybody who comes near it as we're leaving, so they can't jump to the ship.
Yeah, okay, there's still a wooden plank at the bottom, and your guardian just stands firm. And I'll say that your guardian looks more closely to a Grim Reaper than an actual sort of holy paladin. It's
Yeah.
definitely more so has
not
these
portraying
dark
that
shadows just constantly as though they were billowing in the wind, and a large scythe with almost like a Wraith King helmet.
And he'd be staring with just 2 red beady eyes, just.
Yeah, not
Unblinking.
moving, not swaying, just right on the ramp. And
Deathinsky.
yeah, Quenxil's just yelling different They won't prevent me from making it towards the sky! Come, let us go! Into the air we fly! Just like moving back and forth from the ship, and he finally takes his place at
As
the
soon as my turn.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as my turn comes
Love
up,
to run.
Hercheck, you are now up.
I will grab Tim and run towards the ship.
I retract my legs.
They just fold in.
Exactly.
I just smash him onto my head. It'll work.
We combined.
Okay, we'll say as strong as Hercheck is, that will take up both of your turns, as now the enemies are running after. And Quenxil goes, "Push us, for the love of God! Push us and climb on!" As you're like halfway toward or to the plank leading up to the ship.
Okay. Wait.
As you now the propellers on each side are spinning, and the ship is almost like swaying back and forth, needing a direction to go, and it's like slightly lifted off of the ground right now.
Okay. What direction?
Out!
I hit it out.
There's
It's
to-
a whole ship. Which do I go to the back? Do I go to the starboard,
You
port?
are at the back. You
Just
gotta
take-
push it out of the cave.
to give you a better idea of the scene. You are in one large cave.
Yeah.
On the right of the cave, if you're looking out of the small gated entrance, or what was gated, is just, it descends into blackness because there's nothing there. On the left of the entrance, about 30 feet away from the ship, is an exit where the water is spilling out over, and it leads outside of the city
Where's out though?
I guess we're
to...
confused. Is this a push start vehicle or?
No, he's just like, the ship is prepared. It just needs to be directed out of
Needs a
the...
little push. Needs a little.
Yeah.
It's
not a
push.
Yeah, it's not like a push start will activate something. It's literally just guiding it out of the tunnel.
So they can't just floor it.
No, can't just...
We're the floor,
Mm.
and they're the it.
Gotcha. Come on, let's go.
I like put him down. Like, "Yeah!" Push it, and then I don't know. Throw a rope down. Because the plank's gonna go away, right?
Yeah, you see the like almost dual-horned black armor of the muted swordsman lean over the edge and throw down a rope in your direction. And you see Vul throw down a rope in your direction. And Vul goes, "Might be a good time to turn into a bigger guy, don't you think?"
You okay? And then I rip my robe off, and then
I'll pick
And
it.
Yeah,
Do
Thunk,
it,
you
Garth,
see
yeah.
this and understand that he's
Behold!
gonna forget that he doesn't have a robe anymore.
don't worry, I can just take any old knapsack.
No,
Um,
I'm gonna take a canvas and cut a head hole with it for him.
Yes.
Okay. Turning bigger and larger now, at least triple the size you were before.
I don't need to make these noises, but I do anyway. I'm just like,
You're triple your
And
size, so you're 6
Not
feet
even
now.
focused on the ship. It seems like his mind is just like wreathing with what is it called when you just forget everything as an old person? Dementia.
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's and dementia. As he's just like wildly pushing the ship forward and just like running into it and doing all of these crazy mannerisms to push the ship forward. And Hercheck, you're just like collectedly, but also using your rage, just pushing it. Like it doesn't really need it because it's really, it's almost like a zero gravity object in that you're literally just barely pushing it forward, and it now has left the ground and is currently just sailing out.
Could I have given it like my max effort? Like
Yeah, go ahead and roll a strength check. You too, Tim.
natural 19 and natural 18. But we'll go with the natural 19, so 23.
wait, am I rolling with advantage?
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm-
He's raging.
I have advantage on strength checks.
Okay. 7.
7. Okay, so Hercheck, you are actually you tilt it to the right,
That's just 6.
where you can see that all of his insane jabberings and pushing and just various blunt thrusts towards the ship are pretty ineffective, and it starts arcing towards the right, leaving almost like revealing you, Tim, on the right side of the ship towards 3 attackers coming behind you.
I'm also trying to climb onto the ship.
Yeah, the Guardian's still there.
They're not going towards the
I thought the
plank.
plank was-
They're not going towards the plank.
They're not pushing near the plank?
No, I imagine they're pushing towards the back end of the ship. That would make sense.
I thought they were like going towards the plank and then pushing it away from the thing and then climbing up it.
So yeah, you actually each one makes their hit.
Yeah.
And Tim, you take 18 points of slashing damage as people are at your calves and your hips and your lower back. You just feel we'll get him, we'll stop this, we'll be heroes. Yeah, as now you're just frantically, you've given up the pursuit of pushing and you're climbing up the ship, which doesn't take much because you can really reach up to the deck.
I mean, I don't know what else to do. I proceed. I'm not trying to get fully on the ship, but imagine like, you're almost like skateboarding, trying to like grab on and push.
Yeah, I imagine you have like 2 hands grabbing onto the deck. One leg is like sort of on a barrel as to find purchase, and the other leg is just dangling, just like tippy-toeing the ground, still trying to push it.
Yeah.
As guards are just hacking away at that leg, and you're just like bringing it up every now and then to just like try and bat them away and fight them, and then
Can I try
tap
to
the
bat
ground whenever you
anyone?
can. Go ahead and roll for it. Yeah. And Hercheck, as you are pushing firmly on the opposite side,
Wow.
is it the bow that's the front?
Yeah.
The bow of the ship has cleared the exit, and the huge crevasse is below you, as you've got about 30 feet before you run out of runway.
Okay, can I start climbing up?
Yeah.
I will start climbing up.
I rolled a 10. Is it a strength check?
It's if you're kicking them, you would add your strength and proficiency.
Then -1 strength plus 3 proficiency.
So the guards just duck out of the way and slash your foot as you're just slowly pushing beside them, and they're just like running along, hopping to the side and slicing you again.
18 for my strength check for the rope climb.
You grab onto the rope once, a second time, a third time, and hoist yourself up as the airship is no longer touching the ground and is exiting the tunnel.
Is it
And
daytime?
No, it's you see now that it's that sort of deep blue on the sky where the sun is just about to come up. So it's pretty early morning, maybe about 6 a.m.
Can I give the zebra girl a wink? Can we catch eyes? Be like, just give her a wink.
Roll just a straight charisma check.
Okay, 16.
She holds her what is it called? Her lance towards you. She just gives you a wink.
Dang.
I as we're like leaving the cave, I close my eyes and jump off back into the cave, and then it cuts to me still on the ship. As that is in my mind and heart what I would like to be doing.
Sends you to leave a cave.
It's the last cave I know of.
Running away, huh? We'll find ya.
Remember, we're the great dead hands.
Oh, also, sorry, you take another. Before you leave, you take 11.
This is bullshit.
A total of 20 points of slashing damage. They rolled really high on their rolls. As the last two guards, the third one misses, just slice at your heel and get pretty deep in there. And you all turn around as you can hear sort of the wood creaking and the air sailing past and the of the propellers. You look behind you and see Cleopatra just slowly walking towards the ledge and looking at you all, as well as the captain of the guards just like waving his hands around, ordering people to run and like go in another direction.
Are they coughing on the foul-smelling air?
No, they're not.
Oh.
But yeah, you can. There is on each side this shroud of greenish, sickly smoke that extends about 30 feet across the end or towards the back of the ship.
I breathe it in. Smell that? Delicious.
Air.
I would like to go over and pull Tim up onto the deck.
Okay. You grab like both of your hands, grab around either side of his one of his hands because he's still enlarged, and just like reach down for his forearm and try and almost just like it's the thought that counts.
Oh,
Type
I'm not
action.
actually really helping.
He's just a really he's a large being right now, so it'd be hard to actually help him. And he's
How
also
tall are
naked,
you?
so there's no unless you grab some like fur on his arm.
I don't think I actually read that right. I don't want to
With possible
mislead everyone
feces.
here. I think I read about this spell online somewhere, and it doesn't actually line up with what it says here. It says that the target's size doubles in all dimensions, and its weight is actually multiplied by 8.
Jeez.
Yeah, so then it might not have been the size that makes it hard for you to help him. It's just the sheer impossibility of the weight that he currently has.
Okay.
It does say it increases its size by 1 category.
So yeah, instead of being a medium, you're now a large.
You're as tall as me.
So I guess I
don't
tried.
think you're a large.
I'm a large.
Medium.
I'll just go ahead and.
He likes to think he's large. but
I'll
he's
give up
medium.
on trying to pull him aboard, but then I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, I have advantage on strength saves. God
Dang it! Know your caricatura.
Oh, look at that. 5 points.
So,
I'm also
could
gonna.
I use a bonus action to command all of the zombies that are in the city to just attack?
No. You
Wow.
try and reach
Like-
out, and you cannot make a connection with any of them.
They slayed all of those really that quickly? Well,
It's been a long night.
I sigh and, have a moment of silence for the stable boy and laugh a little bit.
A moment of silence for the stable boy. I have led you to your doom.
You are funny doomed. As I go back in and, fix my gear and, stare at that horse that won't let me ride it. Just think about killing it.
Can I go up to the what's the kid's name?
You never got his name.
I'm gonna go up to him. What's your name?
My name is Jasper.
Jasper.
So,
It just got really weird.
Didn't it?
I just go up to Duncan and just go, I can throw him over the edge.
He
his
could be
dad's kind
useful
of weird.
to
He might show up. Don't know.
He could be useful. You did good, Jasper. And I'm gonna heavily hit him on the back twice.
As I come
It's
over
one
and
of
just
those
knock him
like
out.
it's like it tickles him and that he like curls his shoulders back and he like
Yeah.
his eyes roll to the back of his head.
Just hold on now.
His knees bend inward and he just like hobbles forward really quickly.
I'm gonna tell him to. Like, now I need you to finish mending this canvas bag. Make it into a kind of tunic. Tim's gonna need it.
Yeah, as Tim, your naked body crawls up onto the deck, and you have no more clothes really.
That's a Duragar penis. Yep, it definitely is. As I walk away.
And I'm hoping that he makes it into like a tunic and shorts.
Cave
If he can roll for that, to see how good that could possibly be.
Moss only grows on the left side of Cave Dick.
Shit.
The underside is covered in moss.
Just like living things crawl out of it.
Okay, you see this like smile creep across his face as he looks at the fabric, and he goes, "Right away!" And he runs away and like down the steps that lead into the main portion of the ship, which your 3 horses are located in as they were lifted and put into the center.
Sick. We got that fancy mane.
That horse, I don't want anybody to ride it. I've thought about killing it a couple of times, but
We should.
it's
Loot it.
It's
We should loot it.
It's worthy.
it's
It's
probably
worthy
got a lot of
to be the Nebrexus too. It could be. It
Um,
depends on how strong it is.
Brexis too.
All right. As time goes on, I fill them in on what happened at the horse stable area.
And it wasn't our fault.
And then the boy was a zombie.
He did it to himself. He did it.
And that's how
the
we got 3
ritual
horses.
to
Was
himself.
he
One
at
of 'em-
least out of his misery?
He's
Yeah,
in
I
misery.
murdered him pretty good.
No, okay. Well, that's
We
good.
got a really fancy horse.
Did you
really,
get him? I don't remember.
I killed him.
really
was already dead,
fancy
though.
horse.
Really fancy. Like with stuff on it.
Like a really good saddle with gold embellishments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
For
wouldn't
them-
say that.
For them noble
much.
types.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm working with the horse a little bit to try and mend things up because we did ruin its.
Is this
its
one of your
house.
zombie horses?
It's not yet.
Let's go. Tim, I got the glove. Remember the dust thing? I got it.
That dusty guy.
I got a dust glove.
Wow.
Dust glove.
I got the dust glove.
Didn't we sell the other part?
No, because she didn't want it. She was like,
Oh, that's right.
didn't do anything without the glove.
Okay.
Could you tell me what it does? Tell me what it is? Could you look at it?
Yeah.
It was a mighty glove. It fit my hand perfectly, by the way. It was a very large glove. My hand fitted perfectly.
He's been saying that this whole time he's had it. I don't know why.
Enlarge only
Yeah, we all
lasts
just
for a
look at
minute.
you like,
Has it been?
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's just like
You're
an
just like,
Like I say, you have a
oversized
few
glove.
seconds. This is like you guys. It was like 30 seconds to get out, and then like 12 seconds to get on.
Kind
If
of.
you wanted to do one last thing.
I don't think it'll fit me.
No. Can you identify it?
Oh, yes. Let me see it.
I slip it off in the ring. Just hand it to him.
Don't lick it.
If that's what he needs to get it done, Varkir.
I'm gonna
Durgar spit's very acidic.
sniff it. I'm gonna bite it.
It's very acidic. It damages rocks. Why do you think they're
Put
capable
it
of?
in my mouth. Just like,
It's a stone
Sucking
gauntlet.
on the thumb.
it's a gauntlet. And a ring. That wasn't hard.
That's what Hercheck does. He laughs and he's like, "All right," and I slip it back on. Like, fantastic.
You're not gonna wipe off all the Durgar spit that just got into that gauntlet.
Why would I care?
Durgar spit's acidic to rocks.
Varkir, you may care. I don't care.
It's acidic to rocks. So that gauntlet's a rock.
Oh.
So I'll just take it from you and.
No.
Oh, here I'll ask Pinky. How about that, Pinky? Could you help me out here? Grab this gauntlet and fix it up for him a little bit. Did Pinky say anything?
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm gonna use this shitty dice actually for Pinky. 10.
No reaction from the bag of holding.
Fine, Pinky. Fine.
Is Wool around?
Fool is around, and he looks.
Is Kumbara
He's
around?
just on the side. She is. I honestly imagined her being on the deck when you were taking care of her. I thought that's what.
Yeah. I
was
hope.
said.
Yeah.
Vool is on the right side of the ship, just hands on the. Well, actually, he's kind of small, so he's just. He's almost sitting down with his knees up in, and he's looking very sort of melancholy at this moment.
Wool is?
Yeah.
Maybe I won't approach him.
I'm gonna like shrug him on the shoulder, like, "Hey, Wool, what's up, big guy? You feeling down? You feeling down?
'Cause
You
we're
want to talk
currently
about
up.
it?
We're currently up.
You want to talk about it?" Then I walk away.
He starts to brim up a little bit, and then you turn around, and he
I'm like, "Go tell somebody who cares."
Can I come over and give him a glass of ale?
yeah.
And we shared a thing of ale.
Sure. He grabs it from you, and he says, "Oh, luckily I can drink this. Not much to my liking, but
It's not like the other stuff that we had, Ravul.
I go up to it and I put blight.
That poison that you gave me. Fool.
my favorite concoction."
Can I put some necrotic energy into his drink? Just to,
You
like-
walked away.
Oh, well, I,
So
I
you
turn
are,
around
no,
and like,
you are no longer a part of
can I
this.
turn around and like, character, die.
And he goes, it may be the thought that counts, Thunky, but you lot may have just been responsible for me never being able to return to my home.
We will clear your name.
I am so very eager to experience what that looks like.
Don't you worry.
Just give us a couple years.
Don't worry. I told them we were the dead hands, and we're going to catch the dead hands actually. So when we bring them in, they'll be like, "Oh, you caught the dead hands, and Vool's with you." Stupendous.
500 gold won't be able to make up for this. I won't ask for more, but
We're not giving you 500 gold. We're going to give you the dead hands to bring back to say, "Hey, look, they forced me to take me with them, and then I brought them back. Here they are, all bound and gagged."
what a righteous plot.
It works though. It works as long as we get them and kill them and silence a little bit them, and then beat them up so they can't talk a bunch.
He's just absent-mindedly barely listening to you.
Good. I'll explain my plan in a 5-step rule now, as I continue.
Dougie, did you have anything else to say?
I'll devise a plan so that it makes it look like, maybe we forced you into this against your will. And you'll get off free. Don't worry. I'm not going to say that we've been in this situation before, but, maybe we have. It's worked out in the
I
past.
look around with my arms up like, didn't I just say this?
You can come to our city, Orenbell.
Yeah, you're always welcome to join
It's
us
a
if
beautiful.
you want.
You don't need to join us,
I
but you
spent
can
We
come.
my
live in an
entire
amazing
life
tree.
in Bresh,
Maybe it's time for a
fighting.
change.
fighting to change the perception around me and my origin. I won their trust through a lifetime of hardship. I'm one of their most experienced and trusted guides. I have friends in that city, family, not of blood.
So they wiped all that away without you saying anything, because you didn't say anything during that exchange with them. So they don't even know you're on this ship.
There's no way that we could explain what you have
But there
done.
is no way they could have known you're on this ship. Perhaps you were just off somewhere else, and they thought you were on the ship, and you show up randomly.
Maybe we took you hostage.
The guards of Bresh are not foolish. They have
They are
seen me
definitely
with you.
foolish.
We took you hostage.
Trust me, they are foolish.
Roll a persuasion check.
11.
What?
11. Mark my words, Wool. It will happen. And I walk away.
too,
Just
Ganon.
at that.
He just says, maybe it was time for me to leave.
Stuck in a one-horse
That's
town.
the spirit.
Well, you're stuck in you were stuck in a no-horse town. Yeah. All the horses are dead. Get it?
We'll set you up in Orenville. With your
We're not
own
part of that.
shop. With your own guide shop.
We'll
And
just-
we'll vouch for you,
We
too.
just have to get rid of one shop before we put you in. The shop's name
Five-star.
is Joanne's. I think something. We'll get rid of that.
Yeah, there's this really cranky old person who lives on the edge of town, and, you know, they wanted their garden to be fixed, but I mean, honestly, we could just kill them off and put you in there with your shop.
Oh, no, man, I wasn't there for Quenxil, so he wouldn't know about that. Never mind.
You guys are not very good at making people feel better.
Jumentus, that's what it was, yeah.
I just fill up his glass with more ale.
He just like half-heartedly
Like
does,
walk
like,
up
a
to him
cheers.
like, offering like a hug, like, bring it in, buddy.
Roll a persuasion check. Straight charisma, I would say. 5.
Aw.
He just he turns around and hops onto the ledge and just looks out.
I just,
And you hear this
One
really
day.
really long
I slowly walk over and.
I'll whisper like, you could push him off.
Do you?
Yeah,
No.
it'll be-
Why would
it'll
I
be
do
so
that to
easy.
wolf? I picture that in my head.
And at this point, you guys have lifted far into the sky to where you can have almost matched the peaks of the Gragnar Mountains, and
See my home from here.
to the west, you realize the clouded, fog-filled section of the floating forest, and you see two sort of dark forms shoot out. And they're Unagoths that are just wrestling with each other and playing as they descend back into. It's far, like
Okay.
many,
I was like-
many miles
I was like, here we
away.
go.
And this is just a part of the sort of the
That's good.
landscape that you see before you, and you can see this mass of clouds almost creating a veil on what extends to the northern portion of the Gragnar Mountains as you guys continue to sail north.
Do I see Barthor's Reach from here?
Barathor's Reach?
Yes.
No, you do not.
Oh, I want to look for it.
Can I
Oh,
can I
roll
go
time.
to Kumbara?
And?
Oh, I didn't. I thought that was gonna take some time, and other people could have did some stuff. She wake. She's still sleeping.
She is still sleeping. She looks a little bit better than she did before, but she's still inexplicably asleep, if that makes sense.
Jesus.
I want to ask the ship's captain, like, where is Barthor's Reach from here? Can we pass it or no? Or is there nothing?
Barathor's Reach?
Yes.
Why would you want to explore that hellscape?
It was it's not a hellscape, it's glorious! Wait, what has happened to it, actually? I haven't been there in centuries, I think.
I only know how it's always been. It's
Oh, no. Can't be. We'll come back to this later. Where are the Aasimars, actually?
okay.
Where are the Aasimars, actually? Where are they? Are they still there? They have to be there, right?
There's a small collection of Aasimar there who are clinging to an old glory they once had, but nowhere near
The fools.
the extent or the what?
Should have been there. As he walks away, all sad now. In deep thought.
I've got a question for you,
Hmm.
Quenxil.
How may I help you?
Do you recognize this? And I'm gonna lift my. Oh wait, I'm naked. I'm gonna point at my
Oh.
My tattoo of Rahum. Or the symbol
Which
of Rahum.
Is actually it. There's a slight, almost glow in the dark level or extent of glow to it, where it's just barely highlighted, whereas before it was almost this just like matte light blue across your skin. And he goes, "You've been blessed with the symbol of Rahum. I used to fight with heroes who had that very same symbol. Let me tell you, the skies are treacherous when Rahum is around.
I mean, this
Electrical storms.
paltry god.
Paltry god. Why,
Paltry god.
with one summoning of him, he took down 5 Lordamar war vessels. Skies cascading with the meteors
Kitchens.
from their cannons, each blowing on every single side of our stem and stern. It was a sight to behold, Rahum laughing all the while in the background as he reaps his destruction, though he is not the only one we can dedicate many victories to. He is definitely a deity
His
that I
stolen,
hold in high esteem.
his stolen power will not stand. One day he will return to whence he came. He will return.
I
All-
tell
Would
you
you
now.
stop talking?
Stop talking.
I'm trying to talk to Quenxil over here.
No.
I tell you now, be very wary of that mark while we are in the air.
Why?
'Cause he's
Rahum, where he is a powerful and reliable god, you can only rely on the force of his power across the entire scape of battle, meaning friends and foes alike. He's done his best to preserve allies on the side of Capilico,
a
but
lesser deity.
to a certain extent, he cares only for the users and not so much anyone else that could be affected.
As I rub dirt on the mark.
And what of the people who worship Rahum?
Tribal lot. I've heard of giants worshipping Rahum. Not so civilized. The warriors on our ship carrying his mark, screaming an insane amount of litanies towards him. It's a sight to behold, I swear, but it's
Barbarous.
control is not something they're known for.
Sounds kind of interesting. What?
Something in my mouth.
Have you ever been to one of his temples?
Me personally, no. For
Well-
with Rahum is around, the skies are not safe to be sailed.
I scratch the symbol.
Now that we have a good vantage on this land, can you point me in a direction? Do you know where, like a specific region, where we might find a temple?
I'm afraid not.
What if I gave you some gold? Would you think a little harder?
Well, you're already giving me gold.
More?
I can tell you, the city of Capilico worships many and all gods. Heroes and avatars of each one hail to the capital city. It's a city of heroes. Its golden towers harbor many of the churches and worshipping places of deities across the lands.
I think one day our travels will take us there. I know we don't have the best reputation now, but maybe we will earn it. at
I think your
Capilico.
reputation has gone up a few ticks. Why, just being in my very presence. Saying
You
that
know, it
you've-
does feel like that. Yeah.
Saying that you've sailed on Narhelis's eye can get you into many ports across here and possibly even gain you the ear of some prevalent captains, though I'm the only one you'll ever need so long as you have coin.
What was the
I
name
do
of the
like
ship?
ears.
Nulhollis's eye.
No.
Okay.
Have you seen any people walking around with this symbol on them? I just pulled up a symbol of just like a black vortex, pretty much. It's on like a pendant. Have you seen this symbol in that city anywhere?
Yes, that symbol stood out to
Oh,
me. It was always kind
yes.
of odd and out of place.
Ooh, where was it exactly?
I don't quite remember where specifically in the capital city of Capelico, as they seem to always keep to themselves and be very secretive.
Very well. We must go there. I approve. Let's go there.
Now. We'll put it next on the to-do list.
As I put the pin over Rahum's mark.
All right.
I would like to go to Vool
Okay.
and ask him the same thing. Vool, you okay there, buddy?
We'll see.
Do you wanna touch my butt?
I fail to see how that would
Go ahead.
brighten my spirits.
Just give it a try.
Did Jasper
You're
finish
full
the
of
tunic?
confidence, aren't you? You can sort of hear these passionate little cries and yells of like, ah, I've done it. Yeah.
Can I roll to try to twerk?
Yeah. Do a performance check.
Roll for twerking.
I'm gonna go get that tunic.
3.
Poop it up.
Some poop comes out.
Just do
I just loosened some dingleberries.
Some stool.
Tim, normally I would love to indulge in your wacky antics, but this time I would prefer to be alone for a while.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at small talk. Let me just cut.
You've got a lot to
the
learn
chase.
in the twerking arts.
Maybe one day we'll practice together.
No,
you
that'll
and
never
I.
happen. No, it won't.
Can
Not you and me, not never.
Can you blade twerk?
Blade, I'll work on that.
Can you put a blade in your butt and you twerk?
Get to
with
the
it?
point.
Do you recognize this symbol on my chest?
I'm afraid I don't. It does not adhere to any of the deities that I'm familiar with. Actually,
Does Rahul sound familiar?
roll a charisma check. Wow, that just shot right out.
That's what she said.
Oh. 19.
Vool just says, you may find a little bit of what you're searching for at the end of this ship ride.
I'll take it. Feel better. And I'm gonna place my hand on his back. Give him some pats.
Doesn't react at all.
I say it again. I said, feel better. Some more back pats.
He just turns invisible, and you hear as he walks away.
Wow. I suck at this. All right, I'm
And
just gonna go find a dark corner.
The sun is starting to come over the horizon now, and it starts to illuminate the entire valley and collection of mountain ranges in this area. And you can see to the east just almost multiple different large, waving, colorful banners just waving to the wind. And the deep green mountains to the west that led to the floating forest, and again, sort of in front of you, there's this like deep pink and purple collection of clouds that lead deeper into the valley.
As our green trailed ship flies towards those clouds. Yeah.
You guys proceed for many hours before you actually hit this almost barrier of clouds, and you're almost skirting across the top of it, and you start to see the clouds sort of disperse a little bit and collect in different levels, and you can almost see like portions of them, portions of the clouds just sinking inward like sinkholes. And through one of those sinkholes, you see a giant, well, not so much a giant, probably about, honestly, medium size, about lion-sized squirrel just crawl out of it and start running across the clouds. You can see another one sort of playing with it, hopping afterwards, and a shadow goes over your head as another one of the squirrels is just flying across and taking like a collection of different colored berries with it, and it descends into one of the sinkholes.
Can I, when another one comes close, just, start to go like,
Here, squirrel. Come.
I'm gonna
Chip.
I'm gonna motion towards Thunky.
Okay. Can't you try speaking to these?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having a full-on conversation over here. What you got?
Go ahead and roll an animal handling check.
$17.
Another one sort of hops from one cloud, sails from another cloud close to you and starts running along your ship. And you do your little, like, come on. And it's just like running on the tops of the clouds, and it looks over towards you. And it starts to close the distance as it's running just to the right of the ship, in line with you guys. And you can see it just like looking up, just like making this like.
What?
That's really weird.
Is this like are they giant?
Yeah, they're large. They're like, imagine squirrels the size of lions. A little bit smaller than that.
Those big buck teeth they have then.
I'm gonna go over there and attempt to speak with animals, but then as soon as I see how large they are, I'm gonna be like,
He'll just start yelling at
Come
you.
on, just give him closer.
did you see its teeth? Did you see that?
You can make
Yeah,
good
I'm gonna
daggers
go
out of
like
those
this.
It
teeth.
could bite us.
Daggers.
It could rip us in half with like one chomp. I don't want to invite that thing over here.
Come on.
I don't want it.
Wow.
Nope.
I'm gonna, motion slow, slink.
Why you do that?
Stay downwind. Motion for this thing to come towards me. I'm gonna look inviting.
It just like soars and arcs into the air and latches onto the side of the ship right in front of you, and its head is larger than you, and its teeth are about the size of your hands. As it just goes,
Oh my god.
Does it look like
Why?
threatening?
it looks kind of mindless. Like it's not like it's
Oh,
more
okay.
so just like are you feeding me? Are you feeding me?
Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, hey there, buddy. We're not gonna hurt you. You look fantastic. Look at you. You're great.
Food? Do you have food?
Can I check to see if we have like nuts or something?
Yeah, sure. Roll an investigation check.
Let's see here.
Natural 12.
16.
Yeah, you find a barrel filled with like the almond equivalent of this universe. It's
Okay.
like there's jerky in one. It's like you find the long-lasting preserved food section.
I'm gonna tell the squirrel. I'm gonna put some nuts on the railing here. Okay? And then I'm just gonna lay them out and then stand back.
It's like as your hand is reaching towards the railing, its nostril just like touches in. You feel the wind pressure sniff across your hands. And you can feel the moist wetness of its snout just like press into your hand as it's waiting for your hand to release. And as your fingers let go onto the railing, its tongue just swipes on the inside of your entire hand and licks all of the berry or all of the nuts into its mouth. It's just,
That's a lot of nuts.
yeah.
Alright, I'm getting this
And
mistake.
the giant squirrel sort of like as he's done eating, goes,
Hey, they have food! They have food! Everyone, food!
and you just see like this, this army.
I cast necrotic shroud on myself.
You see this like out of the cloud sinkholes, and along the side of the ship is about
Why?
30 different multiple sizes, sort of like a small variance in color of these cloud squirrels, and they're just running along the side, and like 3 of them have hopped onto the ship now as you guys are sailing forward, and you're just being chased by an army.
So, can I cast the fear thing from my mace? Like, fear me!
What's the range? Isn't it 30 feet?
Yeah, I think everybody who can see me in like a 30-foot radius. Yeah.
I would like to tell that squirrel, that's it. That's all we had. We didn't have any more nuts. I gave you the last of our nuts. That's it. We don't have any more food.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, they have to. So they see the DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Natural 20.
Thank God.
Plus 1, so 21.
Okay. It looks at you and it goes,
You mean that was all the food you had?
Yeah, now we have to land and I guess go get more food. I was being really...
We'll follow you then.
No,
We'll follow
no,
you then.
No.
Okay,
No.
everyone, come on.
Tell them
Oh.
that the ship behind us stole all our food, and they have to go get it from them.
The ship behind us, they had a ton of food and they stole it from us.
In the city! There's a
It
city!
was so bad.
it,
But lucky
it's,
for you, there's so much food there.
Send them to Bresh.
Yeah, in Bresh.
Tell them the dead hands sent you.
They're squirrels. They can't talk.
Oh, well.
he goes,
Horde, food, this way.
and he jumps off, sails away, and he says, as he's leaving, he goes,
But they're going to get more.
and like half of them take off and start sort of like running towards with this squirrel, but the other half are closing in the distance, and there's like 15 more squirrels just following alongside you. They're not making an attempt to jump on the ship, they're just waiting for you to land.
Alright. Well, now we got this arsenal of flying squirrels to protect us.
Sure. Not murder.
I'm gonna speak with them as well.
How does speak with animals work?
It has
You gain
advantage
the
on
ability
squirrels.
to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration.
Oh, cool. Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna
How
tell
long are
them-
we following you for? Yeah, when are we gonna be there?
Come on, give me food. I'm so hungry.
no.
My children are starving.
Eat them.
Yeah, and they're
My
just
mind is just gonna be full of squirrel thoughts.
and there are 3 squirrels singing like Christmas carols.
no.
Right?
The chipmunks. I used to love that cassette.
All we hear is. Like, what's going on with these things?
That's gonna be like, if you protect us and help fight for us, there's plenty of food in store for you.
Roll a deception check.
Just digging that
I mean,
hole.
they gotta get tired sometime, you know. A 14.
Oh, I thought that was a 20.
What?
And you hear one say, "To the death!" And he jumps onto the ship and just looks off into the distance, just like with his little claw in the air.
Arm this squirrel.
That's about it, though.
I'm so happy now. We got this giant squirrel and he's adorable and he's gonna fight for us.
Can we arm him?
Can you arm him?
Yes, like give him weapons.
He's got his claws.
You can
And
try.
his teeth. He doesn't need anything else.
Ask him if we, if they can carry us.
Can we fly on your backs?
He just looks at you really serious and goes, My back is only for the worthy. For my queen, I will ride.
Who is your queen?
Roll another persuasion check.
Going to squirrel lore.
Natural 20.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better
Jesus.
Who's the
The
squirrel
best
queen?
squirrel
Huh?
You
conversation
prepared the
ever.
squirrel queen?
This better be good.
1942. The squirrel
I'm
king.
taking notes.
Her,
Squeaks.
her name is Esmeralda. Esmeralda will lead us to triumphant victory.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, and he just goes on to pretty much
How
say,
does he talk about
Yeah,
it?
that didn't seem like enough
Look.
information for a natural 20.
Yeah, it was a natural.
you just asked, didn't you ask what her name was or
Give
who
us
she
some
was?
damn
I was like-
squirrel lore.
Yeah, like who is your queen?
Okay.
Who
With
is
a natural
she?
20.
Okay.
Tell me about her. What
Yes,
makes
squirrel.
her so
Yes,
worthy
squirrel. Tell us
that
about her.
she
your
is the
queen.
only
Does she
one who
battle
can
the Raven
ride on
Queen?
you?
No, she
Who's the squirrel king? Who's she married to? She's single?
Yeah, is she taken?
so he gets a little bit less offensive and he just like puts his arms up on the railing and he goes, "Well, Esmeralda, she isn't really one of us. She's not a giant squirrel, but she helped gather us all in the clouds and she united us. And so now we love her. She can ride on our backs forever." But normally when anybody tries to ride on our backs, we get reminded of our torturous history of when we used to be used as raiding parties and evil people would lash us and they would use us as their fighting monsters and mounts. But we've gone past that now thanks to
I
Esmeralda.
remember those good old days.
Can I pet him?
With a natural 20, we can say that like during his long and drawn out retelling of the history of Esmeralda saving them and freeing them from their shackles and uniting them above the clouds of the Ragnar Mountains, like during the story, you just sort of zone out at
And I'm
how
just
cute it
stroking
is, and
its
yeah,
back.
just like. And like midway through his speaking, you're just like, you're just like Esmeralda.
Can I point in the distance?
Donkey's so happy right now.
and yell, Bama Klad Kajama Kalama Kojamo Kabama Jijamaga.
You finding
Is it
Nemo?
doing
Are you little
anything?
Nemo? What's
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, because the squirrels
yeah,
kind of sound
kablama,
like
kajama, kablama, kablama.
the squirrel from not Finding Nemo, Little Nemo.
In Slumberland.
Oh wow.
Did not remember that.
didn't do anything.
I didn't remember the squirrel in that movie at
No,
all.
I didn't either.
He looks at you and he goes,
So he doesn't do
That's
it.
it.
"You must know some spells that Esmeralda knows."
Yeah, totally.
Am I officially best friends with this squirrel?
Yes, and his name is Bixwack.
Aw,
Big swag.
Big Swag.
I'll pick his swag.
Can I call on you anytime, Big Swag?
I want to have you roll a persuasion roll, but you already had a natural 20, and so he goes, "Well, if you can convince Esmeralda, yeah, of course.
How can I contact Esmeralda?
I can take you to her."
I don't think we can visit her, unfortunately.
No.
We can come back.
Maybe later.
You don't have time for Esmeralda?
Not right now. We're on a very important mission, but
If you
afterwards
could take
we'll
us to
come
the
back.
city of Capilico?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Another one.
Capilico? Or is it?
We're still on the way to Capilico.
15.
There's something about you that reminds me of her. Sir, I trust you. She like you guys. She have lots of activities planned for all of us when we get back.
I'm Sorry.
And he
I'm
like
so
lets
happy about this.
he lets go of the railing, and he just like just out of sheer happiness just like spins in the air and widens his what are they called? The
Wings.
Skin wings.
Yeah, like the skin wings, and like his fur, you can just see the wind pass through it. And he's this like very light gray squirrel, and he sails
Light
back
gray.
on and says, "I'm so happy."
I'm picturing something like in Aladdin. You know,
Which part?
Yeah.
when he visits Jasmine and he like drops off the balcony.
Oh, exactly that. Like yeah, like that's pretty much how it is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would like to sit with the squirrel and snuggle in its warm tummy.
I'm sure there's time for a whole new world.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just kidding. There's no time for that.
Can we explore this further?
The campaign has switched.
Anything these squirrels need.
So a few hours pass now, and a lot of the squirrels have sort of died off. There are some
Wow.
just like not
No.
like and just like they fall through the clouds. They die. Yeah.
Food.
Have given up on their pursuit or belief that you will lead them to food, and there are like two strugglers on the back, just like,
That is so sad.
and you can see them like dip into the clouds, and then they like catch themselves as they continue to run on top. And
Toss a piece of Nebrexis out to them. I don't have a piece, but I would.
an undead, rotting flesh piece of Nebrexis.
Good source of protein.
And it's starting to, the sun is starting to descend now. It's getting to be about nighttime, as you guys have traveled many hours and well over a lot of these, a good portion of the Gragnar Mountains. And you can see just off into the distance, a few 100 miles away, just deep red clouds. And every now and then you'll see this deep spark of like a red streak off in this collection of deep red clouds. Getting
As these hours are going past, can I start like taking off all this shit from the horses?
yeah.
Don't
Just gonna organize it.
Don't take off the stuff from
You're not
the
there.
the
You
nice
don't know.
horse.
You don't know shit what I'm doing.
I'm talking about. Don't take the stuff off the nice horse.
You ain't downstairs.
Take it off.
The sun is starting to set now, causing this extremely beautiful coloration of all of the clouds that you are currently on. It's like this deep orange and red and violet of sunset, as you guys are almost a part of the sunset now, as the clouds that you guys are on is experiencing this color as well. And you can see a few, like a mile or so in front of you, a portion of a mountain peak sticking out with this tower leading up maybe 50 feet from the peak of this mountain as it's ascending from the clouds. And Quenxil goes, "Well, we're about to, we need to rest anyway. I fear I've had no sleep from the night. What say you we stop at this tower and see if we can make a friend or so? You guys are so good at that."
I make plenty of friends. They just don't talk back a lot.
I would
Or
like
we
to do
can
an
continue.
insight check.
On Quenxil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lick my lips and
What are you trying to glean?
squint my eyes. Make sure this tower is. Well, he's not leading us into a weird trap or something. 3.
He seems super on it. You can almost see like his winged arm slipping from the wheel, as it's almost as though he's trying to make Like, thank goodness you found this place, because now he can stop. As much as he loves sailing, he is exhausted at this point.
Have you ever been here?
To be perfectly honest, I've always wanted to stop by this tower. I've just always been preoccupied at the time. The timing works. And the situation for me. But if you want us to press on, I'm sure Vul will be able to man the helm in the meantime.
Well, what is this place?
I'm not quite sure. I've heard many different rumors about it.
What are the most popular ones?
Well...
It's not a place for nice people.
Oh, not quite. It's just more interesting. The mountain man who deals in various different mythological spells and concoctions, or the ancient beast who guards a princess at the top. I'm not quite sure. There are many different rumors surrounding it, but those seem to be the most popular.
I say we go.
Let's blow the tower up.
Go blow it up. I'm kidding. Let's go.
Okay, as you guys hear again the creaking of the wood, and the wind runes start to die down as the propellers start to get much slower. The ship is guided towards this like 30-foot long protruding cliff that extends from the tower itself. And this tower is like leaning in different directions a little bit. It's just mildly not completely center. It's like waving a little bit with a different color, like a spire at the top and multiple different windows at almost nonsensical locations. And as Quenxil pulls the ship right up next to this cliff, the muted swordsman throws down the ramp, and that is where we will pick up next time on SASANS and Dragons.
Or assassins and naked Durgars.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Let's
mean,
complete that
sexy.
scene really
Oh,
quickly.
yeah, that's true.
Because you did mention that. I apologize for forgetting.
I forgot too.
So when you enter the small cabin with the boy inside, he holds up two outfits
4%.
that is more so like pieces of rags, like circular rags connected into, like almost like, imagine canvas bondage. And he goes, "You said to make
Oh,
two
no.
outfits, or you said to make outfits, didn't you?"
So it's
I don't
basically
think so.
like Lilu's outfit.
It's like Lilu's outfit, exactly.
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna be like, thanks.
Well,
kid."
come on, let's try it on right now. And he
No,
grabs your
no,
hand and he
Nope. Thank you for this. I gotta go make sure it fits our friend. These were for Tim. I should have specified.
I mean,
So now you get to look at Tim
I'm not
stuffed
opposed.
into this tiny ass little outfit. Enjoy that.
Those Durgar balls are.
And then I'm gonna go
Dangly.
up to the deck and I'm gonna give it to Tim.
He is just like lost in contemplation as you're leaving, and there's this look of worry mixed with elation on his face.
Is that squirrel still on board?
Yeah, the squirrel at this point has, we'll say that through the conversation throughout the hours, he has sort of made his way onto the ship and is now just like curled up, taking his own nap on the.
Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna disturb him. He's sleeping. Perfect. Never mind.
As I
I
cough
can't
loudly
send him
next to
away.
him.
So I
Now you got
am
this
approached by Thunky with a,
really cute Lilu outfit.
and there's two of them.
Yes, two.
What's the difference between them?
One has a thicker material for the the pelvis region to cover up male genitals.
Oh,
And there's like a zipper fashioned in that area as
well.
well.
Here you go.
I'm
That kid Jasper made it for you.
okay. I don't think I.
You gotta
swing
you gotta
this
put
way.
it on.
Okay.
It's better than that.
I kind of like don't know what to picture.
Just here.
Lilu's outfit from Fifth Element.
Like the
The
straps.
white one.
Almost
I know,
exactly.
but it's like my body can't picture that on a Durga.
Picture a dwarf.
Yeah, I'm picturing a dwarf that's just like where.
And then just have gray skin on them.
See, guys, this is why we need to work really hard to become popular, so people will draw this for us.
Here you go, boys.
Now
Exactly.
I know.
Thicker strap region. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, wait, I met that guy.
Just make them shorter.
Oh.
Yeah, he was Misty. We had a picture with him a couple times. We see
Okay.
each
Well,
other at cons.
He's getting
sometimes.
really good use out of that wig.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Thanks. You know, I think I'll grow, or this will grow on me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do one of
Looks
those, you know, like flare my butt out and like ooh, and then the other way.
You still got those dingleberries on there.
I think I like it.
Oh God.
No, he doesn't. He freaking
You still have
He
some of them
twerked
on
them
there.
off.
Yeah, I did twerk him off.
he bidet himself with the staff.
You
a
bidet
long
yourself
time
in it.
ago.
Alright, so you have no
But
danglies.
there's kind of a
but
constant, slow running.
Slow running.
Slow running
don't-
diarrhea.
Yeah.
it's constantly
constantly-
just falling out.
Yeah.
Drip.
Just like
That'd be
part of
awful.
your superhero wardrobe is 2 brown lines down the inside of your legs.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
we'll have that
Okay. With that,
added to the super suit.
find out what happens next time
With the super suit.
on Sasans and Dragons. As always, Sasans, until fate next brings us together and never stop playing
your pain.
Playing games.
It was the worst one that time.
It wasn't the worst
Wasn't
one.
the
We've had
worst.
much worse.
Yeah,
Only
so it
one
was
person got it
last
wrong.
time. It was.
Well, I got it right. You got it wrong.
No, I got it right this time.
I got it right. You all got it wrong.
Wowee.